Hi and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits, and today is Sunday, September 13th, 2015. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back one more week, and if you're new, hopefully you enjoyed today's show and you'll come back in the future. So, as you can see, I am sans Callie. She had a bunch of work she had to take care of. So she had work things and also her leadership training. She got assigned a project yesterday, so kind of got sprung on her at the last minute and she was unable to record. So that's alright. We're going to record solo this week. But especially since Callie wasn't coming over, I was like, I'm just going to wear my PJs. I'm not going to put my contacts in. So if you can't see my eyes that well, I'm sorry, but putting contacts in can be a real struggle some days. So, Ernest is coming up to say hi. So, the lighting is changing, as you could just see. The clouds went in the over the sun and everything. I've got the drapes down, but the sun's still coming in, so the lighting's a bit wonky. But it is what it is. We'll deal with it. So, I have the windows open as well, so if you hear any motorcycles or things like that, the weather is just too nice. In fact, it's getting a little bit warm for a hoodie, and I've got fleece pants on and my hand knit socks and all that fun stuff. But I'm trying to enjoy it. It's the first real weekend I've been able to, wear hand knits and wear my lounge around Ravelry hoodie and my pajama pants rather than gym shorts, which is what I usually wear as pajamas over the summer. So, yeah. So, I have a lot to show this week, but I do think that this will be a decent-sized podcast because I have a lot to show and I have a magazine review to do for you and all that. If you do hear any extra noise as well, my leading man is off today and he is actually downstairs cooking dinner. And my mom is actually coming over for dinner later today. One of the nice things about having her live less than a mile away from me now is, we can invite her over for dinner and she's like, I need to invite you guys over, but, it is what it is, so. Alright, quick week in review. Monday we had off for Labor Day, so, sorry if the camera shook. Camera must not be on the computer monitor too well. Ernest's walking around, it shakes the camera. Monday we had Labor Day off, and Andy was off as well that day, and he cooked some, Asian style pork loin and some fried rice from scratch, so, motorcycle. So that was really good, and we had my mom and sister over for dinner. He also made a lemon cheesecake. Good. So that was nice to have an added day. This week just seemed kind of long. Even though it was supposed to be a short week, it just kind of dragged out. We had an extra long faculty meeting on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday we had our first early release day. So the kids get out at 11:30, and then from 12:30 to 3:30 we have various meetings and committees and blah blah blah. So it was all right. But, not a whole lot of kid time, but yet it seemed very, very long. Maybe it was because of all the meetings. Who knows? So that was that, and, trying to come home and work every night and work throughout the weekend. Steady pace, though. We're not trying to kill it because we don't want to kill ourselves. We can do what we can do and bring what we can bring. So, to these upcoming shows that we have. So, that's that, and next week I have to give an online test 2 days in all of my classes. It's a new test that we've never done before called MAP testing. It's an achievement test. I don't really know a whole lot about it, so we'll see how that goes because, we're fully in charge of proctoring and administering the test, and walk through some quick tutorials to teach me how to do so, but hopefully there's no huge glitches on Monday and Tuesday. Excuse me. Oh, I had to get up, or I didn't have to get up, but I got out about 6:45 this morning. My leading man had to get up extra early and go in on his day off for an hour meeting. They either had to go in at 6 a.m. or 8 p.m., and he decided to go in this morning rather than, waste his evening. So, he got up, and then I just really couldn't sleep all that well. So anyway, that's been my week. So let's get to the knitting. The first thing on my needles is the Portage Sweater by Melissa Shishwari. I'm using Elizabeth LeBold Silky Wool in color number 65, which is spruce. And I'm using a size 7, 6, and 5, which is a 4.5, maybe? No, wrong one. 4.54 and 3.75 millimeters. So I did work on this a decent amount. You know, like I said, I usually come home and I start working, and I get maybe a half hour to an hour worth of crafting time every night, so don't expect a whole lot every week, and maybe I just need to cut down on the projects that I work on, but I got a decent amount, a couple of inches maybe. In fact, I had a little bit of a mess up on the back patterning, but I just kind of kept going, and it is what it is. I don't think it's glaringly noticeable, but so that's that. So I got maybe 2 inches done on the body. So it's going. We still have till the end of next month with our sweater knit along, so about a month and a half left. Will I make it? I doubt it. Will you make it? Absolutely. Or you should give it your best to get there. If not, even if you don't make it, you got a good deal of a sweater knit. And all you gotta do is finish it up, right? That's pretty much where I'm gonna be. So that's that. The second thing is the Polyphony Shawl by Sarah Burghart Abram, and I'm using Leading Men Fiber Arts Show Stealer in Copper Cloud, Midnight Rendezvous, and Eternal Kiss on a size 5 US, which is a 3.75 millimeter needle. And it's living in my other fat squirrel bag that I got at SSK. My sweater's living in this one I picked up at the SSK Market. This was the pre-order special SSK 2015 edition. And so not too much progress, but again, the rows are fairly long. And this actually, I was looking at it, I was worried I had to go really long this way, but actually this is the length of the stole. Once it's block out, it'll block out really long. So I'm getting there. I go till I'm almost out of yarn and still have a decent amount left. So, but yeah. So, not a whole lot, but like I said, takes time. Takes time. Excuse me. The third thing I'm working on is the Geology Shawl by Very Busy Monkey. I'm using Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Fog colorway, and I'm doing that on a size 6 US, which is 4 millimeters. And that's living in my triple shot bag from Kitchen Counter Crafter. And again, not much on this either, but there's the shawl. I did from there to the needle. About halfway through this next section, so I did not get a whole section done this week, but it's kind of hard to show it all to you. But that's that. And the second to last thing I'm working on is Mix It Up by Jana Huck. I'm using local alpaca mill spun to a fingering weight in natural white and blue steel that I dyed. And I'm doing this on a size 3 US, which is a 3.25 millimeter. And here's where it's at so far. So this is the top edge, so technically it would be like that. And I did from the Dicky-Doo, the orange Dicky-Doo in the middle down. So the rows are going to get very, very long, and on a 3 that's going to take forever, but it'll be very nice. And I don't know why I can't stop yawning. Sorry. So, the last thing is my socks that I'm working on at work, and I did not get much time to knit on these at work. I had a lot of grading to get done this week, and I'm still behind on grading, but it'll be what it'll be. So, but I have been working on it a little bit this weekend as I've been rescanning downstairs. As you know, it's scanning and stuff. I can work across one needle on my 2 circs. So, these are stockinette socks out of Lollipop Yarns Tradition Base in the A River Runs Through It colorway. And I'm knitting these on size 1.5 US, which is 2.5 millimeters. I did a regular heel flap and gusset. So the stripes are extra long in the back of the heel, but that's okay. And I don't think it really disturbs from the striping all that much. They're a little bit thinner and picked up exactly where I needed it to, so that worked out kind of well. So that's that. I'm enjoying them. They're very, very subtle, but very, very masculine. So we'll see if they become a Christmas gift or if I hold on to them. And that is living in my other Fat Squirrel bag that I purchased a little while ago, but this is one of her sock bags. And my Mix It Up shawls living in my large Silver Shed USA bag. Glasses. So speaking of bags, I'm not going to save this for stash enhancement, but I showed some bags we updated to the shop last week, and I did not keep one of the neckties for myself. However, a very generous patron of the shop, and she knows who she is, bought me a birthday gift, and so they bought one for themselves and bought one for me, and so now we can be bag twins. So I do have a new project bag. This is the neckties that I showed, and this is a Silver Shed USA project bag, medium. So I'm excited. I haven't used it yet. I was keeping it pristine to show you guys again, but I'm very excited. So it was a nice belated birthday surprise. So thank you very, very much. You know who you are, so thank you. Alright. Just getting a little warm, a little stuffy up in here. In rehearsal, I got nothing because I got a lot of work to do on all the projects I got. So, behind the scenes, my spinning. I did finish the first 2 ounces of the Into the World BFL in the Don't Blink colorway. And it's lovely blues and purples and grays. I'm doing a 2-ply fractal spun. So I spun straight from one half of the braid, and then I split the other half into 3s. I have 1/3 done, a full third left, and this much of the second third. So that's going. I can't guarantee that will be done next week, but I should have the singles done by next week, which means I will be on to plying. This is like a yawn fest going on here. I mean, come on, really? I'm sorry. I'm just so, you know, those days you're in a hoodie and you're just like, meow, right? No? You don't know? No? Oh. Maybe it's just me. Alright, in the spotlight, what am I watching and reading? Well, I am still watching Once Upon a Time. I'm in season 2, enjoying that. I'm not sure if I caught up on The Strain last week. I don't think I did. But Andy and I started watching a show we began watching last season, which is The Great British Baking Show. And I forgot to add that in my notes. So, we watched the first episode of that. The second one comes out today. It was interesting. I know that you probably are very nervous when it's your first time on the competition and everything, but it seemed like everybody was slicing their fingers open. I mean, it actually got fairly hysterical. I'm sure it was not fun for them, and certain people kept doing it. So, I don't know, that was interesting. But, so we enjoyed that. I did watch a movie with my leading man. We watched Into the Woods. I thought it was okay. It did not blow me away. But it was what I expected it to be. Meryl Streep did a wonderful job. I think their storytelling and how in her demise was very lackluster. In fact, it confused me a lot. But I thought the performances were pretty good, and so I thought it was decent. Reading. I'm still reading or listening to The Good, the Bad, and the Undead by Kim Harrison. Again, I enjoy the narrators. She can carry many different characters very well. However, I don't know if they went back and edited when she was sick or what, but there's a couple of... She's fairly nasally in the tone of her voice, but there's a couple times it sounds like she's holding her nose and talking. But I'm at least getting into the story. I'm starting to understand some of the things about this world that were slightly confusing last time I talked about it, so we'll see. I'm also listening to Cause of Death by Patricia Cornwell. I'm listening to that in the truck to and from work, so I'm enjoying that. Again, I've read one of the Kay Scarpetta novels, which is what this is, previous to this, and it just seems like, can one person really do everything or have as many credentials as Kay Scarpetta does? As well as, do they really allow medical examiners to do all of this investigating that they're really doing? I don't know. So, again, sorry about the glare on my glasses. It is what it is. The last thing, and I have not really talked about this book, but I am reading a book at school. I do sustained silent reading with my kids. I brought that back this year. I hadn't done it the previous 2 years with our curriculum change and then our schedule changes. But because our schedule changed again, we have an extra 10 minutes than we did last year. So I'm bringing sustained silent reading back into the classroom, which I am so happy. I've missed it. I think it's really good for the kids to be able to pick out anything they want to read and just be engrossed even for 10 minutes a day. And of course I get to do it 5 times a day because I have 5 different classes. So I'm reading a book there that I started at home, and it sat on my nightstand for months, if not close to a year, without me touching it. But I am picking it back up, and I'm probably 2/3, if not more, of the way through that novel, which is The Magic Cottage by, I think it's James Herbert. I don't have it with me to officially look up the title, but I'm pretty sure it's James Herbert. And I think it's a translated novel. It's okay. There's a lot of questions. I can't figure it out, so that's good. But yeah, it's different. Let's give it a try. So I am actually reading that one. So that's what's in the spotlight. I do have a magazine review for you. When I was at Stitches Midwest, I did have a run-in with the publisher and editor-in-chief of Chicago Knits Magazine, which is Kim Richardson, and we had gotten to talking, and we were doing another collaboration. So, I said, I haven't reviewed one of your magazines in a while. She brought over the issues that came out since my last review, and so I've got 2 magazines to review, and I'm going to review one of them today, which is Chicago Knits Magazine Spring 2015. I know we're going into fall, but and that's this one right here. They do retail for $7.99, but you can get a publication in there. I think it's $24.99 for the year. So I breezed through this morning. There was a couple things that I wanted to point out to you that I thought were really interesting. One of the things that I always like about their magazine is they do have a photo index of the projects that are included, as well as, the articles and things like that at the bottom. I always love that they have events, which is really helpful for me in planning out things. So it has events coming, in the area within driving distance of Chicago. So, there's a couple things that I may look into for next year that's in the spring. So we'll see. Some of these I already do, but you know. And then they have cool new gadgets and yarns and things like that. So we've been featured. We may be featured again soon. But you know, like Art and Stitch 2 project bags, they've been featured before. They're featured again. New needles, stitch markers, bobbins. Again, just kind of keeping you on the up and up of what's out there and what's coming out. And then there were some cool articles. I really like this one just because we've vended at this event for the past 2 years, which is all about the yarn. It's about the three women who began YarnCon in Chicago, and their story and why they felt so passionate about beginning it, and why they feel passionate still about growing and expanding what YarnCon is, and what it will be. So I'm really excited because there's some changes coming this year too. I had the pleasure of talking with Lindy, who is one of the founders of YarnCon and at Stitches, and yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I was looking. Oh, they didn't. I noticed they mentioned the vendors, and we're not on there. Interesting. So anyway, and then there was some other articles. There was one I thought was really interesting on, they had a couple different dyeing articles, and then they had one on a garden to dye with, which I thought was really interesting about how you can, what types of plants and flowers you would want to grow in order to use in natural dyeing, which if that's something that you get into, it takes a little bit more work and things like that. But, you know, it's really interesting about growing your dye garden and things like that. So if that interests you, it might be something to look at. They always do a featured store. This one was on Nina, a well-knit shop. I've been there years and years ago, and it's small, it's quaint, but it's very modern. It's has a very nice aesthetic on the inside. The Nina, the store, contributed, there's the word I'm looking for, 2 patterns to the magazine. The first one is the zigzag scarf, which I thought was pretty nice. And that calls for 2 balls of... It's pretty simple, and you can see it does roll a little bit. But it calls for 2 skeins of Blue Sky Alpaca Extra. And then they also contributed the Clementine Cashmere mitts. Again, pretty simple, but I liked them. And these call for a skein of Pepperberry Cashmere DK, which is only 50 gram skein of 140 yards of yarn in that 50 grams. Some other patterns I like. The patterns, I have to admit, the patterns in Chicago Knits are hit or miss. You know, they're all contributed. Like one of the misses that I really didn't like was the Spring Romantic top, which looks like this, which kind of looks like a baby's dress. No, it is an adult top, and it has some of the cabled drop stitches that is in Laura Linneman's My Hope, I believe, or My Wish. It's one of the two. I test knit for her. But I don't know why you would want that in your mid-drift area. Like, they've ruched this at the bottom. They bunched it up so you really can't see through it as much, but you could definitely see right through to their stomach and back. I don't know. I don't think that is very romantic or flattering on the majority of people. I don't know. I didn't really care for this project, but just because it doesn't really hold any appeal to me, and I don't actually like the look of this, but I know brioche is becoming very, very popular. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not saying I'm never going to do it. I might even take a class in the future on it just to learn the skill. But it had Springtime for Cashmere, and it's a brioche cowl. It is not Mobius. I think they just flipped it because I had to look at the the notes. I'm like, is it a Mobius brioche cowl? I do not believe it is. One thing that I thought was really cute, I would have no ambitions to knit it, but, you know, again, going with that Chicago theme, I like that they do have projects that are specific to Chicago, at least one in every issue. And this is the CTA train pillow, which I thought was super cute if you've ever ridden the L in Chicago. And it's got a beautifully blown up chart that's color coded, and you can even it is Intarsia. It has a picture of how to do Intarsia with the bobbins. Again, they had the bobbins in the, you know, new and interesting items, and then the back of the you can show the train stop letter. You can Intarsia that on the back of the pillow. So again, really interesting and cute and neat. And then they have, you know, a wonderful index of swatches. They have different swatches or different types of stitches you could do in crochet and knitting every time. They have charts on the different types of yarn, standard charts and abbreviations in crochet and knitting. They have a wonderful list of abbreviations of terms and a store directory to the Chicagoland area, and they are even branching out into just outside of Chicagoland in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So yeah, I would definitely say check out Chicago Knits. You can find them at chicagoknitsmag.com. So thank you very much, Kim, for allowing me to review this issue. And in the coming episodes, I will be reviewing the summer-fall 2015 issue. So, all right. A round of applause. I do want to let you know that we do have a coupon code to Bags by Awesome Granny, and that is good until the end of the month, September 30th. You can get 10% off of your order by using the coupon code DramaticKnits10, and you can find her as Bags by Awesome Granny on Etsy. We do have our sweater knit along going on. Your sweater, if you'd like to join, you must have cast on a sweater on or after July 1st, 2015, and you must finish your sweater on or before October 31st, 2015. It must be an adult size sweater, and it must be a sweater with sleeves, classified as a sweater on Ravelry, unless you're designing a sweater. It has to have at least a minimum of cap sleeves. It cannot be a vest. And if you have any questions, you can contact Callie, who is Callisters on Ravelry, and she can give you the yay or nay. Or, of course, you can put it on our boards in our Ravelry group, which is Dramatic Knits, one word, video podcast group. If you use any base of Leading Men Fiber Arts, you get 2 entries into the drawing, so you can post your finished object picture twice, and you post your picture in the No Chatter thread. There's a chatter thread, which is very, very lively and always new posts every day. But you do want to post your finished object picture to the No Chatter thread so that you can be entered for the drawing. You must be a member of the group in order to be eligible to win. We have 2 wonderful prizes, both sweaters lots worth of yarn, one from Callie and one from myself, already lined up. I would also say post your finished object picture into the chatter thread as well, so people can congratulate you, give you a pat on the back, and remark on how beautiful your sweater is. So we do want to remind you to enter anything you finish in the month of September, no matter when it's been started or what the object is, into our September 2015 Race to the Finished Object contest. We have 2 wonderful prizes this month. The first is a project bag from Front Range Bags, which I showed off last week, which is just amazing. And the second prize will be a pattern from our featured designer, who is Sarah Berghart Abram. So she has been with us 5 months. This is her 5th month, and her last month with us in this particular stint she is having with the podcast. So we are looking for a new designer. If we do not get a featured designer next month, we will not have a featured a pattern prize. So if you are a designer or know a designer and think they would want to be featured on the podcast, please shoot me an email, Dramatic Knits on Ravelry, and let me know, and or tell them to shoot me an email so that we can line things up. We'll take anyone from 1 month up to 6 months to be featured. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for our regularly scheduled show, but I do have a lot that has been updated to the shop this week, so we're going to move into center stage. If you leave me now, I'll see you next week on Sunday. Hopefully Callie will be joining me, and I will be freshly back from vending a show all by myself. But, so if you leave us now, we'll see you next week. But let's move into center stage. So, first things first, I did talk about the Kira Lynn hat that came out last week featuring Leading Men Fiber Arts Callback, or Sport Weight Base, and it was a beautiful hat by Delusional Knitter, knit out of our Metamorphosis colorway. And we did have a contest on the Revelry board, which I locked, and I pulled for a winner before I sat down to record, and the winner will receive their own free copy of the pattern, and the winner was number 6. We had 2 through 57. We had 57 voices. We had 2 through 57. The winner was number 6, who is All Cat Mom, who is Anna from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And she said she would use Man of Mystery, though very tough choosing from all the gorgeous colorways. Thank you. Glacial and Foliage would be possible choices as well. So the prompt was to tell me, what colorway of Leading Men Fiber Arts you would use in when you knit the hat. So, All Cat Mom, please get in contact with me. Shoot me an email through Ravelry, Dramatic Knits, and let me know that you are aware that you won, and then I will have Delusional Knitter gift you the pattern. So, thank you to everyone who entered, and of course, thank you to Delusional Knitter for designing and offering a copy of the pattern to give away. But wait, if you were like, but I really want to make that hat, she is giving us a 50% off coupon code to our listeners and viewers until the end of the month, September 30th. You can get 50% off the pattern with the code Dramatic Knits, all one word. The D and K are capitalized, and so the pattern goes for $3, which is already a steal, but you can get it for $1.50 through the end of the month by using the coupon code Dramatic Knits. I do want to tell you about the upcoming shows that I will be at. Next Saturday, I will be at Fiber in the Park. I will be vending solo by myself. Andy will not be there. But we're trying a new setup for some of our smaller shows, so we'll be on tabletop setup. We've ordered a whole bunch of stuff to kind of get that ball going through Amazon this week, so I'm really excited about that. In fact, I may twist Andy's arm to try to do a mock setup in the garage today. We'll see. So I'll be at Fiber in the Park, which is in Earlville, Illinois. That is Saturday, September 19th, I believe, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., if I'm correct. So I'm still hoping they will send me an email with more information. I'm still waiting on specifics, and it's getting close. But I'll be there. And then October is very busy. The first weekend in October, we will be at Vogue Knitting Live Chicago. We are in booth 212, which is on the larger of the 2 floors, I believe the 4th floor, of the Palmer Hilton House Hotel in downtown Chicago. So that'll be exciting. Come by if you can. It is a little bit pricier of a market to get into, but there are some wonderful vendors coming. So definitely check that out. The following week, we will be at Stash Market in Yorkville, Illinois. So check that out. The following week, I still can't tell you, I haven't heard anything about that particular market. But the last weekend in October, we will be at the Fiber Expo in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So if you're up in that neck of the woods, come check us out there. So those are our upcoming shows soon to be happening. Alright, so let me show you everything we updated, and then I will get out of your hair. But I got a full bin of stuff, so bear with me. I just woke up, corn dog. He's like, rah, 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 and then just moved over by the window. Alright, we have a variety of things, so I'm just going to start showing them to you. I have a Soliloquy Gradient in Copper Cloud. I just updated this last night, so there are 5 of these you could get. I know a lot of people are pulling 2 or 3 sets to do a sweater with, so sorry. Take your earbuds out. there are people walking down our driveway, and the dogs do not like that. So we have some project bags that have been updated. We have some in medium and extra large in this particular fabric, which is closing credits. I thought this was super cute with, the whole movie theater leading men theme, and it has some red roses on the inside. Some fiber. I started doing some single braids of some semi-solids, and I'm really happy I am. I think, there's not a whole lot of people who do semi-solids on fiber, and I think you could buy 2 braids and ply them together, which would be an awesome, consistent barber pole. Or, we like solids in our yarn, too. I know spinning takes a little bit more time, but you could have a beautiful, solid, semi-solid hand spun. On Cheviot, I have some Eternal Kiss. Sorry, my lighting is sucking today. And on Cheviot, I have some Envy, which came out much lighter, a little more yellow to the green than on the yarn, but it's the same, same formula of dyes that we normally do. On Cheviot as well, I did a lot of Cheviot this week. Shadows in the Trees, which again, there are better pictures online, so definitely check them out there. On Superwash BFL, I did Dippin' Sauce, which I thought came out gorgeous. It is, that's a little truer. There you go. Very, very gold. On Polworth, and this is a new Polworth. It's a little bit more expensive than our old Polworth base, but this is organic Polworth, and it is nice. This is Dumb Luck. We got a little bit more of that Sprightly Endeavors green in there. A little bit, see a little bit more in the back. On Cheviot, we have some Love Potion number 9. On Cheviot, we have some Seaweed. I did up a 4G on Superwash BFL. I've got 4 of these. This is Hoppin' Along 4G, so you can, you get an ounce of each, and you could spin it back to back and then Navajo ply it and get your own progressive or gradient. Or you could do a ply of each and do a 4-ply and have consistent barber pulling there as well. Warning you, there may be barking again. They're having some kind of baby shower or something next door. So, on Superfine Merino, we have Saffron. And I think there's more fiber as well, I just can't get to it yet. On Cheviot, we have Primordial. A little bit more variegated than the Eternal Kiss. Similar, but not the same. Alright, some yarn. On Showcase, we have some Poseidon. On DK Dramaturg, we have some London Fog. Dramaturg as well, we have Poison Apple. That is not true. That's truer to color. Dramaturg as well, we have some Dippin' Sauce, and it's truer to its original Dippin' Sauce colorway, which is this color right here. I don't know if I think we got a new batch of dyes in. I don't know if they got better this batch, or if my leading man added a little bit more to make it a little bit richer. On Showcase, we have the Grouch. On Showstopper, we have some Foliage. On DK and on Dramaturg and Show Stealer, which is our MCN base, we have some Jazzercise leggings. On Showcase, we have some Apocalypse. On Show Stealer, we have some Dames at Sea. On some Dramaturg, we have Sucker Punch. Show Stealer, we have some New Day. Showstopper, we have some Deep Sea. Soliloquy, which is 657 yards. It's 150 grams gain of 100% superwash BFL. We have some Sandcastle. On Show Stealer as well, we have Poseidon. On Soliloquy, we have some Stage Kiss. We have some Raspberry Parfait on Soliloquy as well. This is what Callie's knitting her Hitafude out of right now. On Show Stealer, we have London Fog. We have Emerald City on Show Stealer. On Showcase, we have Venetian Sunset. Show Stealer, we have Moonlight. This was a relatively new semi-solid. Very, very light blue-gray with blue speckles in it. You can see that there, the speckles. We have Old Blue Eyes on Show Stealer. Very light powder blue. On Soliloquy and Show Stealer, we have Tequila Sunrise. I love this color. I have some Poison Apple on Showcase. I have some Deep Sea on Soliloquy. I have some Raspberry Parfait on Dramaturg. I have some Dumb Luck on Soliloquy. I have some Breaking Ground on Showstopper. And some Sandcastle on Show Stealer. Finishing up the fiber, I have some Imperial on Superfine Merino. And I have some Tranquil on, or no, this is Aquarius, sorry. Aquarius on Organic Polworth. Some more gradients we got done up this week. This is the Cherry Pie gradient. And we also updated some Perfection gradients, which is a lovely teal. Last but not least, we have one sock blank. I'm sorry, I had two others, but they sold right before I sat down to record. So one sock blank is up in the shop. I did dye up 5 more this morning. This one's I called Baker's Dozen. So if you're looking for somewhat slightly Halloweenish, but not completely Halloweenish, it doesn't scream Halloween, there you go. So fun, fun, fun. So definitely check that out in the shop. This is just same base as our Showstopper base. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards of a fingering weight. So that's what's been updated this week. We're trying to get the shop full again and grow our stock so that we can be ready for all these shows we have coming up. So I think that's it. So until next week, after I'm back from Fiber in the Park, I hope you have a great week. And until next week, I hope you knit something dramatic.